Because once a story reaches the point where strangers start stepping forward with names, places, and memories they're willing to stand behind, it stops being a whisper. It becomes a threat. And that's exactly what happened next. This didn't come from tabloids or anonymous forums. This came from a woman who didn't hide. A mother, a name, a location, Costa Rica. And what she said detonated everything that came before it. She claimed her daughter was hired, not invited, not visiting, not coincidentally nearby, hired. According to her account, there was a request, deliberate and specific, for her child to appear in photographs as Lilibet. Not a stand-in for fun, not a casual playmate, but to be positioned, styled, photographed, and presented as the royal child. Payment was promised. Payment never arrived. And here's the part that refuses to be ignored. She insists there were no children with the couple during their stay. None. Not hidden, not shielded, just absent. If that's true, then the photographs suddenly aren't sweet glimpses of private family life. They become something else entirely. Carefully staged, carefully controlled, carefully misleading. People began comparing images, side by side, not lighting differences, not age changes, facial structure, features, proportions. The girl in those photos didn't resemble other images released under the same name. Too different to explain away. And then came the hotel detail, an early departure, an unpaid bill, specific dates, specific locations, details that can be checked, not vibes or feelings, but logistics. Once again, one inconsistency might be dismissed, but this wasn't one. It's stacked. And while people were still processing that, something even stranger resurfaced. A screenshot. An official-looking statement attributed to the palace. It claimed Archie was born via surrogate. People swear they saw it live. They captured it, shared it, discussed it, and then it vanished. But it didn't vanish completely, because another screenshot appeared. Nearly identical wording, same format, same tone, but one critical difference: the listed location. One version said Kensington Palace, the other said Frogmore Cottage. Two versions of what should have been a single definitive announcement. The palace never clarified, never confirmed, never denied, never explained why two versions existed at all. Silence. And silence in situations like this isn't neutral, it's deafening, because these aren't private lifestyle bloggers. These are children positioned within royal succession. Their births, their legitimacy, their parentage, these aren't casual details. They are historical records. They are constitutional facts. And right now, those facts look fractured. Go back and trace the line again. A miscarriage story that doesn't align with medical reality. A lockdown hospital scene that couldn't have occurred. A burial that breaks legal protocol. A timeline that compresses biology past breaking point. Medical explanations that doctors say are misleading. Women with lived experience saying the story feels performed. Childhood friends describing serious fertility barriers long before fame. A husband reportedly asking if the pregnancy was real. A witness claiming a child was hired for photographs. Images that don't match. Documents that exist in conflicting forms, and an institution that refuses to clarify any of it. At some point, coincidence collapses under its own weight, and that's why Tom Bauer pulling at this thread matters, because he isn't asking these questions emotionally, he's asking them methodically. Chronology, documentation, biology, witness testimony, pattern recognition. This isn't about cruelty, it's about coherence. What's real always aligns. Lies require constant adjustment, and this story has been adjusted over and over and over again. Every time a detail is questioned, the response isn't clarity, it's movement. A new focus, a new chapter, a new grievance, a new headline. But the old questions never get answered. Who carried the pregnancies? How did the timelines work? Why do medical professionals say the details don't add up? Why do childhood connections recall obstacles that don't disappear? Why would a husband question something so fundamental? Why would a mother claim her child was used? Why do official statements exist in conflicting forms? None of these questions are offensive. They're inevitable. And the longer they go unanswered, the louder they become. Because truth doesn't need protection. It stands on its own. It doesn't require choreography. It doesn't require poetic language to shield it from scrutiny. What's real survives inspection. What isn't, fractures. And now the fractures are visible everywhere. This isn't about tearing someone down. It's about the moment when a narrative stops being believable. Because too many many people, from doctors to friends to staff to witnesses, are all pointing at the same cracks. History doesn't care about intention. It only records what actually happened. And right now, the record looks unfinished because puzzles like this don't fade away. They wait quietly until one final piece clicks into place and suddenly the entire picture makes sense. Whether that moment brings vindication or exposure doesn't matter anymore. What matters is that the questions are no longer fringe. They're mainstream, they're documented, they're spoken aloud. And once that happens, there's no going back because stories can be managed. Reality cannot. And whatever the truth is, whatever actually happened behind closed doors, it's moving closer to the surface. Not because anyone wants scandal, but because truth has gravity. And sooner or later, everything falls toward it. Everything falls toward it.